Welcome to Barts Gaming Corner. In this video I'll be reviewing the new 4X turn-based strategy game Old World by Mohawk Games. There will be a great number of games released in the 4X genre this and the next year, and Old World is one of the first of this crop. This game has been on my radar since autumn of last year, after reading a raving review about it. But while I could find a trailer, playing the actual game wasn't possible for me. And next to that, I read the news that Old World was slated to be an Epic Store exclusive. Now, I myself do have an Epic Store account, but I'm not the greatest fan of the platform. All in all, strange and frustrating. Luckily for us, Old World is available on multiple platforms, Steam and GOG.com. Since Thursday, May the 19th. So let's see how this ambitious combination of Civilization and Crusader Kings holds up. First, if you like this type of content, hit the like and subscribe button. It will let the algorithm know to give my channel a boost. On with the video. Setting. Old World is set in the ancient and classical period, basically taking your civilization from the early Bronze Age to the beginning of the Dark Ages. I myself falsely thought that the game would also include the Middle Ages, but that is not the case. The setting itself, or location, is the area around the Mediterranean Sea and the Near East, while playing the default map, or you can let the AI create a map from scratch. You can choose from several famous civilizations you will probably know from similar games, or if you're a history buff, for instance the Persians, Babylonians, Assyrians, Egyptians, and of course the Romans and Greeks. Each faction has their own strengths and weaknesses. Next to that, you have various other factions or tribes you will encounter, like the Gauls, Scythians or Thracians. You can trade, influence or fight these, or even marry their daughters to your own crown prince. And, just like Civilization, there are various more anonymous barbarian tribes who are quite belligerent. They can't be reasoned with and will attack any unit they come across. The setting itself can feel a bit constricted. You can't explore the whole world. Now, I can understand why you can't find America in this game, but it would have been nice to be able to play in ancient China and or ancient India as well. But maybe these will be included in a DLC later on. Gameplay. At first glance, the gameplay of Old World is almost an exact copy of the Civilization series. You begin with only a settler, scout and a warrior, and most of the map is terra incognita. You begin building your first city, exploring the surrounding countryside, fighting barbarians, building improvements on the tiles next to your city, like farms, mines, etc. And of course researching new tech that will lift your faction from obscurity to true greatness. This is all familiar territory we know from the original Civilization games and the more recent Humankind. These gameplay elements, while not overly original, are all done quite well in Old World. What sets Old World apart is your royal court and the various characters inhabiting it. For instance, your ruler, your wife, your sons and daughters, and visiting dignitaries. All of these play a vital role in the day-to-day, or year-to-year, since every turn is 1 year in-game, dealings of your empire. Now, in my intro I compared Old World to the Crusader Kings games because of this feature. But don't expect it to be as detailed in Old World. Still, there's lots to do to keep you busy and entertained. You can develop your ruler into a famous warrior king like Alexander the Great by focusing more on martial pursuits and studying tactics, or turn him or her into a more peaceful philosopher. The same goes for the various members of your court. You can influence them, appoint them as governors to your cities, send them on a diplomatic mission, or attach them as generals to your troops. There are some cultural aspects specific to your faction when dealing with your court members. For instance, when I was playing the Romans, my heir to the throne, Remus, wanted to host the Olympic Games. This would give a big boost in culture, but since the Romans thought of this Greek invention as rather decadent, it would also give Remus a weak character trait. So you get to decide if the benefits outweigh the drawbacks. There's one aspect in the game that is quite different from the competition. You just can't build new cities anywhere you want to. Developer Mohawk Games has set a limit to this. You can only build cities on preordained urban tiles. They did this to improve the overall gameplay, and on a certain level I can understand, but it feels rather constricting or limiting at times. Overall, the gameplay of Old World offers a nice combination of done and tried features and some original elements as well. Graphics. The world of Old World is colorful and nicely drawn. Now, the game probably won't win any awards with regards to the graphics, but like I'm saying in other such reviews, they do the trick. The in-game graphics apparently got an overhaul, improving the overall quality since the first videos came out last year. Events, meeting with your families, etc. are all done with hand-drawn one-frame images. They look nice, but don't expect great-looking videos. Character models look decent, with your rulers aging throughout the years, from young children to old men and women. Almost realistic, if it wasn't for the fact that many times a young prince would already be as bald as a bowling ball at 19 years old, which is a funny detail. Sound. Sound is decent. You can hear all the usual sound effects depending on where you are on the map or what you're doing with your units. If you hover on a forest tile, you will hear birds chirping. Over a sea tile, you will hear the sounds of the sea. And when fighting, the usual clanging and banging. The soundtrack consists of various tracks from the Middle East. May not be everybody's cup of tea, I could imagine, but I myself rather liked it. It gave Old World a specific Mediterranean flavor. One thing lacking was the almost complete absence of voice acting. No narrator guiding you throughout the various events or throughout the tutorial. Of course, this can be a conscious choice of Mohawk Games, but I think that hiring a halfway decent voice actor could not have been that expensive. Conclusion. Now, can we say that Old World will oust Civilization from its lofty position on the throne of 4X gaming? Alright, this sounded as pretentious in my head as in real life. No, I don't think so. Old World is a pretty nifty strategy game which will keep you entertained for many hours. The overall gameplay is of a high quality, combining all the best tropes of the 4X genre with some court intrigue. But like I said, the limits within the game feel somewhat constricting. Next to that, both the graphics and sounds are good, but never great. Still, there is one important factor. Does it have the just one more turn addictiveness? And there I can honestly say yes. Old World does have that working for itself. Even much more than competitor Humankind, which, while better looking, is not as addictive. At least not for me. So all in all, I give Old World a strong, solid 7 out of 10. Old World is available since May the 19th on PC and Mac on Steam, Epic and GOG.com.